Well, hello there and welcome, my Aquarius collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your soulmate reading for January 2020, though as it says in the title, it is timeless. So whenever you're supposed to see this is when you see it. All my readings tend to work that way unless it's for, you know, a specific moon phase or, you know, waxing, waning, waning, waxing, however that goes. If you are new to the channel, I am Mark, Angelo, Lyons, Mal, for short. It's my nickname. People have called me that my whole life, practically. Professional witch, professional intuitive, and president of Joining the Circle Productions since 1998. Yeah, that's right. Been doing this a really long time. I've been reading cards since I'm 12 years old, and I will be 52 this year. That means I've been reading cards for 40 years. So it really is an honor and a pleasure and a lot of fun to be doing these YouTube reads and getting clients from all over the world, pretty much. Kind of digging that a lot, and that's why if you've noticed my numbers have how many videos I put out in a day have dropped a bit because I'm getting clients, right? So, you know, doing 10 readings in a day isn't going to work. No one's going to be happy with that, let alone me. Cool, cool. But if you are new to the channel and you would like to follow along, please do like and subscribe. I'm shooting for my 1,000 subscriber mark so I can do super live chat, make a little extra money doing some super live chat, but I have promised my subscribers that I will do a little ditty called Drunk Tarot once a month for the first couple of months for entertainment purposes only, although the readings tend to be a little bit more accurate than necessary when I drink. That's why I don't drink that much. Regardless whether or not I have a divination system in my hand, but I just did it at New Year's Eve. So people are like, oh, you got your cards with you? And I was like, all right, wham, wham, wham. They're like, ah! So we'll have fun with it, so please do like and subscribe. A couple of things before we get into the reading, though. This is a general read, right? Not every reading is going to suit and fit every person in every situation. You can only please some of the people, some of the people, some of the people, some of the time, all of the people, some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all the time. It's just not possible. I'm reading quantum fields of zodiacal signs and astrological placements, a lot of people. So we're just going for general themes, which is why I do Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs so that you can check your other signs. This is a soulmate reading on top of that, and a lot of people may not really get the clarity of what a soulmate is, which is why there are some videos in the description box defining the difference between, for example, soulmate and twin flame. They are both soul contracts. They are both about healing. They are both pre-incarnational agreements that you make before you come in, but the foundations are different. The soulmate reading, the soulmate contract, which we will be doing a contract reading for you today, the bottom line is you help each other heal. And by no means are soulmates only romantic, sexual, intimate, although those are the ones we are going to be focusing on. No, 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 no. You have hundreds of soulmates throughout a lifetime, people who help you heal, and it is reciprocal. It's symbiotic, a symbiotic soulmate relationship that you help each other heal. Twin flames are turbulent, they're transformative, they're tumultuous, they're treacherous, they're tricky as fuck, and they're triggery as fuck, because you teach each other how to love yourselves, you teach each other how to heal yourselves, which means by definition you can't give them what they need and vice versa, but they are essential, the twin flames. Like flames, they transform, like the element of fire, right? So we'll be doing those contract readings in a week or so, as I need a break in between soulmate and twin flame. Think you understand? Cool, cool. So please take it as it resonates. These are the sexual, intimate, romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy-wise, satisfying soulmate contracts that whether or not you have met each other, we're looking at the contract itself, which, by the way, we're going to be looking at divine feminine and divine masculine as a way to differentiate between two people, two parties within a contract. So you get to figure out which one you are and go with your intuition. Now, to simplify this, because you're an air sign, what does it feel like in your body, right? Just leave it at that, right? Intuition doesn't have to be this, you know, ooh, intuition kind of thing. I mean, I'm a Pisces moon. I got the ooh going on, but thank God for my Virgo sun, right? Keeps me nice and grounded. What's going on in your body, right? The same thing with a general read or any reading, right? It's like, well, how does that feel? If you get triggered by something positive or negative, pay attention to it, right? It may not be the exact key to the lock, but look into it, right? Go deeper within yourself. So it goes with divine feminine, divine masculine, though in soul contracts you might find information hits you on both sides of the table, so just roll with that too. And again, check your other signs. Last thing, please remember to breathe. I mean, we're going to breathe anyway. But when I am deliberately breathing, you'll hear me say breathe, right? Find the still point. The still point is where the divine is. That's where the reading is coming from, the energy, the vibes, whatever you want to call it, the quantum field. So if you're doing it and I'm doing it, even though we are separated by time and space, you'll be tuning to that same still point in the present moment where you are, and able to tune to the reading before it even flies out of my mouth, right? So it's just helpful. Plus it slows me down so I don't get so machine gunny, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, which happens when the energy gets high and the guides start getting chatty, which happens all day long. You should have just seen me at Stop and Shop doing my weekly shopping. Oh my God, I bought way more than I needed, but now I won't have to go food shopping next week. Get this. Oh, you'll need that. You'll need, and watch, everything I bought I will need. The more you work with your guides, the more they work with you. So you ready to rock and roll? Let's have a look-see-dooksy. Nice deep breath, my Aquarians. Oh, there you are. Here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, 2 cards, one for the Divine Masculine and 1 card for the Divine Masculine in this Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Satisfying, sexual, intimate, romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract for January 2020 or timeless. Please, 1 for the Divine Feminine, 1 for the Divine Masculine. And by the way, all the decks that I read are in the description box all the way at the bottom. But like I said, there's a lot of cool stuff. There's some videos in there you might want to watch, educational, some that I've done, some that others have done. My books are in there. Go have a look-see-dooksy at the end of the reading. I'll try and remind you who are our happy couple. Before I even flip these over, remember archetypes are neutral, that they have a shadow and a light side. It's how they balance themselves out and make themselves neutral. If you like positive, negative, light, dark. I prefer the language of lead and gold, alchemy. But I'm a witch. What do you want, right? So here we go. Here's our happy couple. Who we got? Well, now don't freak out if you're identify with the Divine Feminine here, because the archetype I am about to mention is one that everybody has. See, there are 4 archetypes in a family called the survival family of archetypes that everybody has. Even nations, corporations, everything has these first 4 archetypes. They are the trunk of the tree through which every other archetypal pattern is a branch on the tree. But if the trunk ain't healthy, it's not going to nourish the rest of them. Why? Because they are survival archetypes. For instance, the child archetype, which is not the other one. We were all children. So there's the child, the victim, which its positive side is the victor, like victory. The saboteur, which is the empowerer, the one who is empowered and empowers others in the positive. And then the prostitute, which is how we negotiate away our faith for comfort. You got yourself the Divine Feminine here as the saboteur. Now again, don't freak out. Everybody has this one. And we have all been sabotaged and have sabotaged our intimate, romantic, sexual relationships. It's just how it goes. It's all part of the divine plan. But this is about decisions. So we'll get to that in a minute, but just to mention then, we've got the Divine Masculine, the Scribe, which is the creative family of archetypes. So you've got a survival archetype in the Divine Feminine, the Saboteur / Empowerer, which is a little hard to say, and the Divine Masculine Scribe. Let me read these to you. You'll get what I mean. Take a nice deep breath, though. This could be triggery. We're going to read the shadow first in a way to get it out of the way, because this is what the soulmate contract is working on. It's healing, right? You're going to help each other heal. Well, then it's good to know what is the shadow, what is the lead, what is the toxicity, the stuff I don't want to look at, or the stuff I don't want anybody to know about, right? Relationships are the means through which we learn the lessons of the divine, right? So the shadow attribute for the Divine Feminine induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. And, you know, when we're having a bad day, when we're running low on our own energetic resources, let alone personal physical resources of rest and time and space and money and all of that stuff, it is very easy for the wily coyote, who I think is the ultimate saboteur archetype, to get into its head and do things that really would not do if it was feeling, what, empowered, right? Destructive behavior towards the self or another in the shadow. I know, horrible. However, let's listen to the light, because this one is really key. highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. So it's actually saying that fear is a little bit of a key into, like, what is the decision you're most afraid to make? That's what the soul is trying to move you towards. The Saboteur archetype is speaking of a soul power to make a life-changing decision. In fact, the Saboteur doesn't usually show up unless there is a life-changing decision in your energy field or in somebody else's. And look, let's be honest. If we've been working really hard on ourselves, on our path, at our jobs, in our relationships, in our families, and you see somebody get what it is that you want before you did, it is completely natural for the child in our hearts to go, the fuck, man? When's it my turn? How come, right? And slash their tires, right? Put sugar in their gas tank. Don't do it, right? So, but that's the thing, that child needs to be heard. The interior saboteur, it's okay that it has its voice. You just don't act on it, right? Again, you know the behavior if you are the divine feminine, but if you're the divine masculine in this, you might get and have a little compassion if there's a sabotorial divine feminine or a divine feminine who's really trying to empower herself and the people around them. In other words, with any archetype, as toxic or negative as the shadow is as bright and positive and healing and divine and magnificent as the light is, right? So lead to gold. You get lead in your system, it's a big deal. It's called lead poisoning. You get gold in your system, there's actually stuff called colloidal gold, microscopic gold elements, I guess you would call it at that point, that they put in water. Like colloidal silver, everybody knows about, but gold, they do the same, just a little more expensive. I don't own any of colloidal silver. I do not. Well, I don't even wear gold, I wear silver. So you feeling me on that? So just wanted to clarify that, because when a scary sounding archetype comes up in a reading, even face to face with a client, I can see it on their face. I'm like, don't freak out, right? But the same thing when one that's like overwhelmingly sounding positive, like the lover archetype, oh, the shadow aspect of the lover archetype is a fucking nightmare, all right? Jealousy and obsession, it's nuts, right? So keep that in mind. We all have our stuff. We incarnated, contracted to heal in this life. So let's look at the divine masculine, because this is the foundation of the reading. So I really want to make sure I clarify these. Plus, you're an Aquarian, so why would I not want to give you as much info as I could? The shadow attribute of the divine masculine, scribe. Altering facts or plagiarizing others' work, right? Scribing is usually about copying stuff, but it is the creative family of archetypes because you are creating a record, so to speak. So yes, it can be creative in terms of bills, in terms of taxes, in terms of very mundane things, but nonetheless you are creating something. But in the shadow side of it, you are creating it falsely or plagiarizing. In the light attribute, preserving knowledge and information. Nowadays with cloud and all the storage ways of storing your info and your data, this has a much more current meaning now, particularly in a relationship, right? So you can be doing it through photos and not necessarily in the shady, sneaky way, just like, right? Dick pics and whatnot. Oh my God. I think someone should collect all the dick pics that have ever been taken. Just put them all in one database and you just slide through them. Billions of the things at this point. I get them. People send them. What can I tell you? I'm a gay man. So you kind of get the creative aspect of that. The preserving. There's the word preserving. And in a relationship, in the shadow, that can be really toxic. It's like, well, remember when you did this? Sounds like Christmas dinner with my family. Not anymore. We've all grown out of that. But it seems like sometimes as soon as the sugar hits the table, the dessert, then like the claws come out. Remember when you were 6 years old and you shit in McDonald's? Right? Right, people who remember everything. So interesting couple, the Saboteur and the Scribe. Aside from them both starting with the letter S, I don't know how this is going to go, but Aquarians, hang in there. Let's look, because we got plenty of cards to lay down, like 3 of the Daughters of the Moon Tarot for the Divine Feminine, 3 of the Mythic Tarot for the Divine Masculine. Simple timeline, past, present, future, just to give you a general sense of where the Divine Feminine is and where the Divine Masculine is in this contract. Might help you identify which one you are. Well, particularly because everybody has the Saboteur archetype, as I said. So if you're feeling indecisive, that's okay. This should help, right? Big, nice, deep breath. Find that still point with me. There you are. My goddesses, please. Athena in particular, oh gray-eyed goddess of wisdom, please. 3 cards, past, present, future, for this divine feminine saboteur empowerer archetype in this Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, soulmate contract, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, satisfying, sexual, intimate, romantic contract. Where has she been? Past. Where is she now? Present. Felt that one. Where is she headed? Where is she going? Future. Okay? While we're here, we're just going to do the Divine Masculine, then I'll read them straight across. My gods. Still point. My gods, please. 3 cards, past, present, future, for this divine masculine scribe archetype in this Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, satisfying, soulmate, intimate, sexual, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract for January 2020, though timeless, please. Where has he been? This one, where has he been? Remember, I'm saying he or she. It has nothing to do with biological gender. Maybe I didn't say that earlier. I apologize. It's about energetic dynamic. I myself consider myself divine feminine, and I'm a guy. Where is this divine masculine, please, now in this soulmate contract, and where is he headed in this? Oh, that was 2. No. Send him around again if necessary. Please, where is he headed? Does indicate a choice or a decision. But where is he headed in this contract? All right, well, that's going to be the last one we look at of these 6. So let's have a look-see-duck-see. Where has she been? This saboteur, empowerer. Very positive. We've got the card of temperance in her past relative to this contract. So whether or not this person has whether they've met this couple yet, there is this sense of discipline and healing and pulling it together, balancing fire, the element of desire, and water, the element of emotion. That could be a very tricky balance to do, where you want, but don't feel, right? 1 foot on the gas, 1 foot on the brake. It takes, oh my God, just like wanting to act on intuition, right? That takes practice. That takes discipline. It takes a toughness, and temperance is that disciplinary balance that we have to bring ourselves together. Like if you're trying to balance your blood sugar, right? That's not the easiest thing in the world. You have to test it, right? And it's not done bam overnight, particularly if you're doing it dietary, through dietary means and exercise and stuff like that. So you could feel that there's an ongoing process here in the recent past, and that ongoing process might still continue, really looking at this divine feminine in terms of empowering herself. Where is she now? Well, okay, the Temperance card is a major arcana. We've got a second major arcana card here, Kali, the Awakener, which is the card of the Tower. Now, I know people are terrified of the Tower, and more so perhaps with Kali, if you know her mythology at all, her place in the Hindu pantheon, because she is a destroyer, but in this deck, she's called Kali the Awakener. Wake up, Pearl, right? It's that slap in the face, or in this case, the bolt of lightning, where something had a false foundation and is being taken down, right? So that something fresh and new and more stable can be rebuilt. I've been teaching tarot for over 20 years, so when I teach this card, particularly through the Rider-Waite, I try and remind people that those little droplets of light in the sky are the Yod, the Y-O-D-H, the Hebrew letter, which means the finger of God. So this is the divine doing. So it's not like, oh, you made a boo-boo, you screwed up. This is major arcana. This is divine intervention. And imagine somebody who doesn't believe in ghosts or spirits, thinks it's all just hogwash, and when we're dead, and nobody speaks to anybody, and mediums they're not even rare, they don't really exist. And then they see a ghost, and somebody like great-grandma wakes them up and talks to them and tells them, what you talking about? Hey, I'm here, right? I have a Sicilian great-grandmother who talks to me semi on the regular, but usually about cooking stuff she doesn't want to talk about. My boyfriend so much, don't blame her, right? So what happens to that person, right, who believes that spirits don't exist, and the tower of their disbelief is destroyed? They have to start over, right? Grandma just came to me. Where is this divine feminine headed? And it's 3 for 3. The witch archetype, the witch card, which is the magician. It's hard to say which. The magician card, absolutely where she's headed, means that as a result of this discipline, and perhaps something being revealed that shattered, she saw truth, right? Like, or a foundation was just taken down, right? The building taken down, the foundation was cracked, knock it down, can be awakening, can be a real shock to the system, but brings her to the place of manifestation in terms of getting really clear about what she wants, right? What I love about this card is there's the element of spirit coming down into the head of the witch, and she's channeling it through her mind, which is the wand, right? The fire, the desire under the cauldron, the element of transformation, the water in the cauldron, her emotions, and the pentacle around her neck, the earth, bringing spirit into form, the process of creativity. If you like, crown chakra, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacrum, root chakra, bam, right? That sort of thing. I mean, like, even today when I was food shopping, I kind of knew what I had to get. I kind of knew what I wanted to cook. But once I got there, I was like, oh, and now I'm making a meal from my past life son's coming over tonight. I'm making chicken cutlet parmesan, but sort of making it like a lasagna a little bit. It's going to be very exciting and fun to do, right? Instant. Where, with this temperance card here, in the past it does feel like perhaps this is something that was a bit more systematic, took a little bit longer, because empowerment's never that fast, that easy. Slow and steady wins the race for sure. And if this is the Aquarian darling, then you have got 3 major arcana cards in a simple timeline. This is a big deal in your life in general, not just in this contract. So having a soulmate show up of any kind, like, doesn't, keep an eye out for your other soulmates, people who are there to help you heal, and it's symbiotic. In other words, you don't help each other heal necessarily at the same time, but you trade back and forth, right? Because that's a big deal. Let's look at the Divine Masculine here. What's he got going on? Well, Major Arcana card of the Chariot, the god Aries. Similar to the Temperance in that there are 2 opposing elements. Here it's water and fire. Here it is black horse, white horse, right? I do and I don't. I wanna, but I don't. Gas break, gas break. But channeling them again through discipline, like Aries, the god of war, martial arts, right? Aries is Mars, martial arts, right? Practice and discipline, but channeling, focusing those opposing forces into the same direction. Just like I did not want to go food shopping this morning because it's cold out where I live, but it's warmer than it was yesterday, and I looked at the fridge and my cats looked at me and I said, all right. I had to pull it together, move forward. Now here I am doing these readings, and I'll be cooking once the 2 readings I do today are done, because I got clients tomorrow too. Where is this Divine Masculine now? Coming from the Chariot, 2 of Pentacles, makes sense, right? Moving it together, but now has decisions to make, right? Has to get his tools together, has to kind of decide. Now it's only a 2, right? People often interpret the 2s as indecision, and I think that's viable, but it depends on the element, right? So this is element of earth, pentacles. So it's sort of like I said, going food shopping today. It's like, what do I want to make? Well, do I need this or do I need this? Something that will play into a larger creation. The 3 of Pentacles for me, the card after this, is very much about, okay, now I've got everything. I've got the chicken, I've got the breadcrumbs, I've got the eggs, I've got the milk, I've got the pan, I've got the tomatoes, I've got all the ingredients, but it ain't dinner yet, right? But I have an initial beginning. So you can feel a getting it together here as well. And because we're dealing with the Scribe, this might be something that's checklisted, right? Like, check, then we'll do that, then we'll do that, then we'll do that. Preserving the knowledge that they are gathering along the way. Where are they headed in this soulmate contract? Interesting. The 7 of Wands. Now, a little similar looking to the 5 of Wands as we're used to seeing, right? People in a battle. But the 5 of Wands is a little bit different in this deck. This is Jason and the Argonauts. The fleece has already been obtained, right? The Jason, the Argonauts, and the getting of the golden fleece. Zeus tasks Jason to get these bunch of guys together on the show, the Argo, hence the Argonauts, like astronauts, the Argonauts, to essentially fulfill a quest. Well, this is the card of 7 before they head home. This is like really kind of struggling of who gets it and the loyalties of it all. So a bit of a skirmish, but a necessary process. It can even, see, as I'm tuning it to here right now, particularly because a scribe, it can be even a little bit of an overwhelm with so much stuff that now they want to do, right? It's like, well, not necessarily indecision like the Two of Wands would be, or the Two of Blades would be, the Two of Swords, but more of that sort of hectic process of kind of moving through it all and getting it all done. Going through the motions even to an extent, but keep in mind the 8, if you think of the Rider-Waite, it's those 8 swords launching into the air. You can't tell if they're launching or landing depending on which way you look at it. So there's a little bit of a struggle here, but with that element of fire, particularly with the Chariot Aries in the recent past, it feels like whatever needs to get done is going to get done here. But with the Scribe, it feels like they kind of know what to do, that they have a plan. And I feel that this is part of like making a plan, right? But physical, making sure all the physical stuff is together. Like if you're going to go away on vacation, you want to make sure you have your toothbrush, your toothpaste, clean underwear, everything that you need, so you don't have to buy it when you're there. That's sort of that Two of Pentacles. That's a really good definition. Thank you, my gods. Luckily, we're not done with this, because we've got very major arcana on one side and one major arcana, the Chariot card here, but not as stable, not as sure, not as intense. Maybe that's the better word. So what we're going to do, we are going to work with the Doreen Virtue Healing with the Angels Oracle to ask the angels, what healing angels is each of these people, these souls, bringing to the soulmate contract to help each other heal, right? So nice deep breath. My still point finders at fixed air. There you are, my angels, please. 2 cards, one for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine. In this Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract for January 2020, the happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, satisfying, sexual, intimate, romantic contract these two got going on here, please. One for the Divine Feminine and one for the Divine Masculine. Let's have a look. What are they bringing to the table? Okay, interesting. Retreat for the Divine Feminine and intention for the Divine Masculine. Now, just to put her aside for a moment, intention for the Divine Masculine really makes sense with this Two of Pentacles, right? Then the intention has been set, and where they're headed is the Seven of Wands. There's going to be some work involved there. There might be some pushback going on there, but not the conflict that they would usually face, right, in a 5 instead of the 7. So there is this thing here that if you are the Divine Masculine, this might be something not so much that you need to avoid, but that you can deal with more inside of yourself. Like, you're the Scribe. Write it out. Go back over your notes. Journal a little bit. Like, journaling is a huge Scribe archetype means of expression. So that maybe the Seven of Wands thing can be used to your advantage, if not avoided. Just coming through clairvoyantly there. Clairaudiently as well. But for the Divine Feminine, she's bringing the Angel of Retreat. Now, there is tactical retreat. Retreat does not always mean defeat, right? Sometimes we all need to retreat from the world. I was talking with Anthony last night, my past life son. I didn't birth no babies in this life, mine or anybody else's. And I was saying, you know me now in this phase of my life, where I'm a hermit, pretty much, like working from home, but for decades running Drawing the Circle Productions and being involved in my coven. We had people at the house all the time. Like, the word hermit is not one you would ever have associated with Mark Angelo Lyons, right? But that is where I am right now. So retreat is often like being an arrow being pulled back on a bow and held until it's time for it to launch. And I said, this is not the way my life has always been, probably won't last this way forever. But it is necessary when the universe makes us retreat, right? And you don't have to retreat alone, right? When people go on spiritual retreats, right? Dietary retreats, right? Like they can go with other people to find support. So maybe these two retreat together, and hopefully helping this Divine Masculine with the healing angel of intention. What do you want and why do you want it? Which does indicate that possibly the conflict of desire, intention, the what I want and the why I want it for this Divine Masculine might be a little jumbled. Write it down. Spell it out. Express yourself, divine masculine, and preserve that information. Really, journaling is what's coming to mind. Let's keep going. We're going to ask the Ascended Masters, those who've already played the game of Planet Earth, reaching back, helping us. But the Ascended Masters of Soulmate contracts, it's like the legal division, but the Soulmate division within the contract division within the legal division, right? You tell I was raised by a lawyer? Yeah, I was raised by a lawyer. I understand partnerships and all of that. As do they. So the Chuck's Kazana Love Pack has 4 suits within it. The Problem suit, which is half of the deck, because it's good to know what the problems are. The Luck, the Healing, and the Grace suits complete the deck, the other half. So this will be about what each of them, just 2 cards, one for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine. Again, what's the healing elements? What are they bringing to the party, so to speak, to the contract? What needs to be healed within them should be the problem, or the other 3 suits, what they're bringing to help heal. So either way, it's all good. Nice deep breath. Still point. My Ascended Masters, please, 2 cards, one for the Divine Feminine, one for the Divine Masculine in this Aquarius Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign Soulmate contract. January 2020, though timeless, please, one for the Divine Feminine. What is she bringing to this Soulmate contract? And what is he, the Divine Masculine, bringing to this Soulmate contract? Lovely. Those came pretty easily. What we dealing with? Okay, both of them got problem cards, which is good because it does seem like they still have some stuff to work out individually, but if they can work together, even if they haven't met yet, like whoever you are, you'll see when we finish this reading, you'll see how no matter whether you've met each other or not, how you can help the contract as well as yourself. It's how they did the spread this time. We've got expectations, the problem for the Divine Feminine, and I think at this stage we know that expectations are heartbreaks waiting to happen. Now, you can expect for things to work out for the highest good and the well-being of all, even though if you don't like it, right? So there's an expectation that the divine plan is going to do what the divine plan is going to do, and it's going to benefit us all, even if we don't like it as we go, right? Sometimes you just got to take your medicine. But usually having an expectation, there's a tightness and a tenseness, a fixedness to outcome, they're giving me those words, that really can be a blind spot, right? So a blind spot meaning that you don't see what else is going on, and hence a tactical retreat. Perhaps those expectations are going to be kablooied here with that card of the Tower, but then really leaving a nice clean slate to incarnate something brand new and wonderful. And nothing like a retreat to see things, and I've been saying this about Aquarians since I started studying astrology, fixed air, right? Gemini's mutable air, Libra's cardinal air. Aquarius is fixed air. Well, what is fixed air? It's the stratosphere. It's the upper layers of the atmosphere of frozen air. So if you think of retreat not just as pulling back, I say this all the time, pulling up, right? Seeing it from a satellite point of view, you go, oh, and that's where, like I said, these beliefs, these thoughts, these foundations, you're an air sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, right? So Aquarius might knock something out of place that was not meant to be there. Because for the Divine Masculine here, we've got manipulation. All right, I need a sip of coffee for this shit, because manipulation's a discussion. There is a card in the Daughters of the Moon, I think it's the 6 of Blades. Manipulation. But it's mental manipulation. You have a headache, you take an aspirin, you manipulate it. Right? The wildfires in Australia, you're praying and sending money. It's manipulation. Right? Prayer, meditation, yoga, everything's manipulation. Breathing deliberately, doing a reading. It's manipulation. That's not what this card is talking about, right? So I'd like to clarify the word manipulation in and of itself. Chiropractors, right? Any of it. Taking a bath, it's manipulation. Brushing your teeth, it's manipulation. That's not this. This is about somebody pulling somebody's strings. Now, can someone be manipulated by their own fear? Absolutely. Can somebody be manipulative and not know they're being manipulative? Maybe. There's subconscious stuff that goes on. But can somebody be being manipulated and have no idea? Absolutely, if it's all in here. But if you pay attention to what's going on down here, in the gut, in the second chakra in particular, in the third chakra, the solar plexus, something's off here. Pay attention to that. Because if your strings are being pulled, that's one thing. But if you're pulling someone else's strings and you're deliberately being manipulative, I could see that leading to a Seven of Wands issue. Because then you have to get clear on not just what you want, why do I want it? Do I want it at all costs? Tricky. Am I allowing myself to be manipulated, knowing that I'm being manipulated because not just of what I want, but why I want it? Or am I unaware of why I want it and that I could give it to myself without being manipulated? It's a tricky, sticky convo here. But that's the beauty of a soulmate contract. You have help, right? This is all scripted. This is not a mistake. Nobody has massively fucked up the divine plan. You can't fuck up the divine plan. It has an immune system. So the divine masculine and the divine feminine here, particularly with all those major arcana cards here, and with this forward motion of the chariot in the past, they have this momentum. This can really be healed, but really in this moment, divine masculine, Two of Pentacles, really make sure you know what you're doing. Look at your plans, right? Check the grocery list, so to speak. We are going to go to the voices of the higher selves, which I feel very, very helpful as they speak through the Whispers of Love Oracle, right? Two cards again, one for her, one for him, sort of a clarifying voice from the higher self of each, right? Or the higher selves of all involved. Ready? Breathe. Nice clearing, stilling, purifying breath. Still point. The higher selves of all involved, please. Two cards, one for the divine feminine, one for the divine masculine in this Aquarian collective. Sun, moon, rising Venus signs, satisfying, sexual, intimate, romantic, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, soulmate contract for January 2020 or timeless. Please, one for the divine feminine, Saboteur, a whisper of love, and a whisper of love for this divine masculine, Scribe, Areno. Let's have a look. What's she got? Do something for someone else. Oh my God. She can help him. That she's going to help. She can, if she so opts, if she so chooses, can help him heal. Do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else. Now, if that means in general, you know, more charity work, praying for others, helping other people, that's great. But do something for someone else also takes you out of yourself. And if you're going through the Tower right now and your expectations have been shot to shit and you're going to be dealing with retreat, don't retreat to the point where you hermit up and don't help others in need when you have the thing that could help them, right? So do something for someone else. Look, it's not that soulmates never have problems. Of course they do. Relationships are a means, not an end. Oh, I want to fall in love. I want my soulmate so that I never suffer again. Nobody got that ever, honey. I'm so sorry to disillusion you like there's a Tower moment, right? No, relationships are a means, not an end. Go read Course in Miracles. Talks quite a bit about that. A means to your own healing, your own growth, your evolution, your fulfillment in the divine plan. So there's something that you have as a result of this temperance, my divine feminine Saboteur, that you can help empower rather than sabotage this divine masculine. What's going on for him? Love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. This divine masculine needs more love, not less. I could leave that right there because that's just the truth. And any manipulations that are going on here, unless they are really with the best of intentions, right? Like, I'm doing this to heal. I'm doing this to get myself out of a toxic situation, to plan for something better. That is one thing if you need to be a little covert. But keep in mind, divine masculine, love is all around you. Love is who you are. The divine itself is orchestrating all of this for the better. And that's the part that we don't like, but nor do we necessarily have to enjoy, but we can acknowledge is true, that this quantum field we call life, right? We're all manifestations of one quantum field, one singularity appearing as billions and trillions and quadrillions of different things, right? Even down to the subatomic particle level. But it's all happening for us. That the soul grows and heals and develops and becomes, it's the soul that's chosen to play the role. The soul plays the role. It's chosen like cast, right? Like a director and a producer cast a soul to play the role of, in my case, Markangelo Lyons, right? But that doesn't mean once I croak, someone else can't pop right in and play this life just like a video game, right? I believe that's how it works, but we'll see once we croak. We'll all meet up. We'll have cocktails in the Ascended Master Lounge. Drinks are on me, but I have a feeling they're free. Let's hope. So love is all around you. The beauty of this spread this time around is that particularly with that do something for someone else and the love is all around you, the last deck that we work with, we're only getting one card. The Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn, which I adore. Actually, some of my clients have commented that they've gone out and bought the deck because it's very powerful. 52 lightsabers in cardboard form, cut through shit so fast. But they are mantras. On one side of the card is the name of the mantra, so I can look it up in the book for you because it's like so teeny tiny what's written in here, but very concise and helpful. The other side of the card is the mantra itself, and there's only one. There is only one for this spread, so it doesn't matter if you are the Divine Masculine or the Divine Feminine. Chanting, integrating, working with this mantra, whatever it is, will help heal, right? That's the foundation of a soulmate contract, to help each other heal. So help heal you, help heal them, the other, and help heal the relationship, the contract in and of itself. So we're going to ask the Ascended Masters for this one, since Matt Kahn is sort of, I don't want to say notorious, that's not the right word, well known for his work with the Ascended Masters and the Archangels and all of that. Let's take a nice deep breath. Still point. My masters and the masters of soulmate contracts, please. We have got a very powerful, very intricate feeling for the, it's not thousands of cards on the table, but there's a lot going on here for this Aquarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign soulmate contract. So please, what is the best, the highest, the most helpful, the most truly helpful healing mantra for this Aquarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, satisfying soulmate, intimate, sexual, romantic soulmate contract for January 2020, please? One card. What is the dominant, most powerful, most helpful mantra to help this contract heal? Greeting wellness. G-R-E-E-T. Greeting wellness. Greeting wellness. The Lodge. Sorry, little Monty Python for you there. Got to lighten it up a little bit. Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. Work. Right? Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. Greeting wellness. Let's look this puppy up. Oh, hey, hey, hey. Greeting wellness. Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles, which is what it says on the card. It says something different in the book. When wellness is welcomed, you are taking responsibility for the upkeep and presentation of your body as your sacred vessel of spiritual growth. In balance, I lost my place. In balance, you may come to see how endless wanting only creates more things to want. When operating from patterns of instant gratification, you are likely chasing after happiness that is out of your reach as your body remains out of balance. So yeah, this is a lot about air signs. Come on, take care of your body, right? Make sure you are in your body, get grounded, make sure you're eating well, hydrating, sleeping well, exercising. This is resolved by learning to care for the body physically, emotionally, energetically, and nutritionally. As your life comes into greater balance, you will likely sense true happiness, not as the end result of specific outcomes, but as the energy created by taking time to truly care for yourself. This mantra is ideal for cultivating self-love, improving self-worth, and letting go of compulsive tendencies, right? So balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles, which, yes, you say, oh, it sounds like a lot of work. Well, you're worth it. You are worth it. You're a divine child cast to play a role in the human drama. You are worth the work. Do the work. Do the work. That's love. That's self-love. Let's give you an overview. Let's see how these pieces fit together from a higher point of view. Magic clap. We start with the divine feminine saboteur archetype in the shadow. Induces self-destructive behavior or the desire to undermine others. Moving towards the light highlights your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life, which I think speaks very much of that that wellness mantra there, that greeting wellness with the balance necessary to do that. And yet we see in her recent past temperance, which, yes, is about balance, but it's often about internal balance as well as some discipline and process involved. That temperance is not a once and done. It is a process. When iron is tempered, or metal, tempered steel, it is a process. It's not just a quickie. It does take a while. Moving her into the present moment of Kali the Awakener, the towering card, the tower card, that can also be about enlightenment, a flash of truth that changes everything in an instant. This is not so gradual. So it's almost like the card of temperance, absolutely necessary there to build a stable foundation for this lightning to strike down any other faulty or cracked foundations going on. Moving her into the creativity of the witch, ordinarily the card of the magician, to be able to draw through inspiration and bring it down into form with more flow. You can even say that card of the tower is destroying some blocks to allow the manifestation, the channeling of creativity from inspiration into thought, into choice, into emotion, into action and into form. And what she's bringing here is that angel of retreat, to pull back, see things differently. Like, wouldn't surprise me if this was the Aquarian here, seeing things from a higher perspective, not just pulling back, but pulling up, and perhaps seeing the expectations in place. Now, keep in mind, some of our expectations we inherited from the people around us, particularly family, other lovers, other experiences that we've had. We see friends doing things. It's like, well, how come I can't have that? I expect to have that. Just be careful of the word deserve. Deserve means the ego is engaged, and there is some toxicity there where the soul knows it's not about deserve, it's about being worthy. Big difference between deserve and worthy. And to balance that out, interesting that word, balance that out, the higher self is saying here, do something for someone else. Give your attention to someone else. So if you've been a little too self-absorbed, divine feminine saboteur archetype, that's a way of empowering you by empowering others, right? To do some kindness, to do some service, to even do some blessings, to pray for the animals of the world if you can't stand people. I get it. Okay. Moving into the divine masculine side of the table here, he's got the scribe in the shadow, altering facts or plagiarizing others' work, moving towards the light attribute of preserving knowledge and information. And with his timeline, we've got that card of Aries in the chariot, A-R-E-S, not A-R-I-E-S, which is the zodiac, A-R-E-S, which is the god of war in the Greeks. Really, like the divine feminine with the temperance, there a bit of discipline, a bit of channeling, a bit of bringing opposites together, bringing to this present moment in the contract of the Two of Pentacles, a bit of planning about of not just bringing things together, but really bringing things into what? Balance. So there's that word, balance, again. In fact, now that I think about it, the Two of Pentacles in the Daughters of the Moon is called balance, the bull leapers. Moving him into the Seven of Wands in the future there, not necessarily the conflict of the five, but that skirmishing, that sort of strategizing back and forth. How are we going to do this? And maybe rethinking, refiguring, re-strategizing in the future. But I feel like if this scribe can go over their notes, that could be something much more to their benefit and something that they will more enjoy than dread. What's he bringing to the table here? The healing angel of intention. So if the divine masculine can get clear not just on what they want, because there's a way of being too specific or not specific enough when it comes to what you want. What do I want to be happy? Well, okay, well, how do you want to be happy? Well, I want $10.5 billion wired into my account by 5 p.m. today so that I can hop on a plane and go to the, you know, that's too specific. So it's finding that balance of the what, but even the why. The why is the power source. The what is the cart. The why is the horse, or if you like, I prefer this better. The what is the caboose. The why, the engine. I like the train metaphor a little bit better than cart and horse. But then again, what is the problem here? What is he bringing to the table? The Divine Feminine is bringing expectations as a problem. The Divine Masculine is bringing manipulation. So, you know, that word, as I said, can mean so many different things and play itself out in so many different ways. Self-manipulation, allowing yourself to be manipulated, not knowing you're being manipulated, manipulating someone else, not realizing you're manipulating somebody else, right? All of that and a side of fries. But pointing us back to love is all around you for the Divine Masculine. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth, and the sense is the nervous system will relax, right? And be able to take a breather, to go over your notes, to do some writing, some expression, some recording of how you feel. You know, even vlogging now would be considered scribing. You know, that they kind of flash that into my third eye. And remember, if you don't share it with anybody, it's not vlogging, it's just recording yourself, which I think it's wonderful to have a video diary. And what is the overall mantra from the masters here? Greeting, wellness. Balance is the key to a life of infinite miracles. And considering both the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine have their own indicators of balance here. Her with the Temperance card in particular, that retreat in order to see differently and rebalance the self. Him with the Chariot and the Two of Pentacles there, and even to an extent that manipulation to, if that is more of the, let's say, the positive side, you know, prayer, healing, all that kind of stuff, manipulation, then balance is indicated here and is indeed the key to a life of infinite miracles, particularly individually, but within this soulmate contract. So there you are, my Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Very intricate reading, but would make sense for an Aquarian. Y'all are thinkers, right? So may the Aquarian collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their soulmate contracts for January 2020, that they may learn, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may preserve what needs to be preserved, that they may balance what needs to be balanced, that they may transform what needs to be transformed, to fulfill their roles in the divine plan, to be happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise soulmate partners for each other, and to be a blessing on all of life as a result, as they help each other heal for the well-being of all. And so it is. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed, my aqua lungs, my Aquarians, my water bearers. But for now, as always, hail, farewell. Read the description box, like and subscribe. I told you I'd remember. And blessed, blessed be.